Ouray, Colorado is known as the Switzerland of America. It is famous for its hot springs. It's a charming town surrounded by rugged canyons, and the beautiful San Juan Mountains. It's situated in southwestern Colorado. Colorado has approximately 17,000 to 20,000 black bears. It's well known that if you feed bears, that bear becomes too accustomed to humans, and eventually will be deemed extremely dangerous. It changes the animal's behavior, and that animal will lose their natural fear of humans. This lack of fear causes these animals to become dangerous and unpredictable. Bears, fed by humans, will approach with no fear, and become aggressive. The animal begins associating people with a food source. They will get into garbage cans, raid campsites, picnic areas, and even break into homes for food. Donna Munson, age 74, lived at her home located 4 miles north of the mountain town of Ouray, Colorado. Donna was born in Chicago, Illinois in 1935. She received her nursing degree in Glendale, California. She later moved to Ouray, where she met and married Jack Munson. Donna developed a habit over the years of feeding bears and other wildlife in her yard. She developed the habit from her husband, Jack Munson, who made their home an animal sanctuary. He adopted a baby elk. He even let a fawn sleep in his bed. After he passed away in 1996, she continued feeding the wild animals in her yard. She would leave a huge tub of cat food on her picnic table for the smaller critters, and tossed food out of her windows for the bears. She had large bags of dog food and grain delivered on a regular basis for the bears, elk and deer. Donna rented half of her home to several different people over the years to help bring in income to support her habit of feeding the animals. On many occasions her neighbors expressed their concerns for her safety, and the safety of the community due to her feeding the bears, but Donna ignored their concerns and continued to feed the bears. The neighbors complained about the number of bears in the area, and about the bears breaking into houses, and getting into garbage cans. Wildlife officials also warned Donna of the dangers of feeding bears, but they were unable to issue a citation or fines due to lack of evidence. One of the certified warning letters read, "We will vigorously investigate all future complaints regarding the feeding of bears on your property. If these complaints are substantiated, we will cite the offender to the fullest extent of the law. In addition, any bears trapped near your property and known to have been on your property will immediately be euthanized." The Ouray Sheriff's Office also warned Donna of the dangers, and visited the home dozens of times over the past decade to investigate, but she would not cooperate. She ignored all warnings and continued to feed the bears. She was annoyed with officials and quit taking their phone calls. She stopped accepting their certified letters, and banned them from her property. When Donna's new tenant, Tammy York of Paonia, moved in with 2 small children, she had wire fencing placed around her porch for protection. The barrier was made of farm-type wire with approximately 5-inch holes in it so she could feed the bears through the small openings. The makeshift fence was 7 feet tall. Munson would feed the bears through the holes. Because she was able to feed the bears for years with no incidents, she developed a false sense of safety. The tenant moved out about a year later when a bear busted her car window, and left bite marks in the car seat while trying to get some leftover French fries. On the night of August 6 in 2009, Donna Munson was talking to a relative on the phone, and made a comment that the little bear was in her yard, and she needed to go take care of him. She said a larger bear was picking on him, and she was going to go swat the big bear with a broom for picking on her baby. She said the cub had tangled with a large bear, and the cub had broken some teeth during the brawl. She told the friend she was boiling some eggs, and was going to take it, and some yogurt out to the bear cub. The next morning a handyman arrived at Donna Munson's home seeking work. As he approached her home, he discovered the partially eaten body of 74-year-old Donna Munson. An autopsy was performed in Montrose County. The coroner first checked for any other causes of death that may have taken Donna's life, but the autopsy confirmed what authorities suspected. Her body had scratches and maul marks consistent with being attacked by a bear. The coroner said Munson was grabbed by the neck and head and pulled under the fence with extreme force. The coroner said the wounds were so severe that Munson would have bled out within 90 seconds. Her death was ruled accidental, and the cause of death was animal attack. Sheriff's deputies spent the next few days investigating the scene of the attack. While there, they were aggressively approached by a 250-pound black bear. Officers had to shoot and kill the bear. A necropsy was performed by Colorado State University Diagnostic Lab in Grand Junction. It confirmed the bear had human remains in its stomach. A much larger bear was killed a day later. Authorities believe this bear may have also fed on Donna Munson's body, but no remains were found in the second bear. State wildlife officers confirmed they received quite a few complaints over the past decade that Donna was feeding bears, but they could never prove it. The area around her home was heavily wooded with vegetation, which made it harder to gather any useful evidence. State Wildlife Division spokesman Tyler Backfield said, "It's a well-known fact that people were feeding bears at the residence." He continued saying wildlife lovers may believe they are helping bears by feeding them, but the opposite is true. Feeding bears can teach them people are a food source. Neighbors told reporters that sometimes Donna would have 14 bears on her property at one time. Donna Munson leaves behind her 4 grown children and 8 grandchildren. One of her daughters, Melanie Allen Milne, told reporters her mother loved animals, and she was starting to get dementia. Feeding bears almost always ends in tragedy, either for the bear or for the human, and in some tragic cases both. The animal becomes accustomed to easy meals. They begin associating humans with food, and when that happens the bear becomes a danger to everyone it encounters. Tyler Backfield, spokesperson for Colorado Division of Wildlife, said in an interview, "She was dead set on continuing to feed the bears, and unfortunately, she paid the ultimate price. I don't think people understand the impacts this has on the community as a whole," he added. "She has neighbors who are very scared. Imagine what that would be like if you have small children or pets or something that you care about that's vulnerable to a black bear. We're going to be highly sensitive to any bear calls that come in from that area. If we're seeing aggressive bears in that area, they're going to have to be put down. Unfortunately," he continued, "we're erring on the side of human safety." Feeding bears in Colorado is punishable with a $100 fine for the first offense, and a $1,000 fine for the third offense. Authorities said it's unclear if fines would have stopped Donna from feeding the bears. Bears who become habituated to humans are far more likely to get hit by cars, and more likely to get killed by poachers due to losing the natural fear of humans. Feeding bears can also cause serious illness. Humans have bacteria in their digestive system called microbiota. It helps us break down food and fight off disease. Animals have a bacteria in their digestive system as well, but theirs are much different. Their bacteria is built from the diet they consume in the wild. When we throw in human food, we disrupt their natural digestion, which can have devastating consequences. This happened in New Hampshire when numerous deer lost their lives due to a condition called enterotoxemia, which is brought about by rapid changes to their diet and microbiota. Deer have a very unique physiology. They must consume specific food at specific times in the season or they won't get the specific bacteria needed. When we introduce our own processed food to wildlife, we cause damage. For example, everyone thinks feeding ducks bread is fun and good for the ducks. In reality, it has no nutritional value. Most bread-fed ducks will rely solely on the bread, getting no nutrition in their diet. When ducks fill up on bread, they do not forage for the food they would normally eat, which produces malnutrition. Whenever humans feed any wildlife, they are inadvertently training the animal to approach humans for food. The animal then loses its fear of humans to the degree that it will seek out humans, areas where humans dwell or camping, garbage dumpsters, vehicles, and even homes. A tragedy may not happen right away, but later that animal may attack a random person it approaches when that person doesn't give them food like they expect. This can result in a person or persons being harmed or killed, and then the animal being tracked down and euthanized. By simply feeding one bear, you can wreak havoc on the system for many years to come. For example, if you feed a female bear and she later has a set of cubs. Those cubs will now be taught to seek out humans for food, and then that cub will grow up and teach her cubs to seek out humans for a quick and easy meal. It's a vicious and ugly cycle that never ends well for the animal or humans. Instead of feeding wildlife, here are a few ways to help. Plant a variety of native trees and shrubs that produces fruit or flowers at different times of the year. Keep some existing natural vegetation on your property for wildlife to eat and nest in. Minimize the use of pesticides and fertilizers. Keep your cats indoors and have your pets spayed or neutered. Domestic cats kill an estimated 1 billion birds each year in the United States alone. Outdoor cats also kill small mammals, snakes and other amphibians. This can push the local ecosystem out of balance. If you see trash, pick it up. This not only keeps your area beautiful but also can save wildlife. Plastic bags, yarn and twine are dangerous to birds and other small animals. The animal becomes trapped and either starves to death or becomes easy prey. The best way to help animals is to leave them alone. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more from Wild Animal Network.